Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, everyone. Today is October the 10th, 2021. Today I'm going to be looking at the S&P 500 and where we left off on Friday. I'm also going to be looking forward to some targets to the upside and to the downside where I see it going into next week. I'm also going to be looking at our watch list names like Netflix and where it left off on Friday, along with Tesla had a nice push towards that $800 mark, and Moderna dropping down to support levels at that $300 level, along with Mara and Coin moving higher in correlation to Bitcoin's price action over the weekend. With that being said, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already, and if you are interested in trading with us at Wealthy Mentor Trading, we have a link in the description giving out the promo for the October month for $49.95, and that entails daily watch lists, swing trading, day trading, along with options callouts, daily market analysis, and it's a great way to invest in your future if you are interested in trading. As you guys can see here, we do have the S&P chart 500 open here, and we did start off the week down here at that 4280 level, and it did look quite bearish going into last week. However, the week started off positive. We did trend sideways here for Monday, and we did finally push up on Tuesday all the way up to that 4375 level. That was a key level for me, but we couldn't break it. We did have some weakness on Wednesday, dropping back down to $4,300 support. Buyers did step in and finally pushed us all the way over that 4,400 psychological resistance. And, we did close Friday, I wouldn't say bullish or bearish, kind of neutral. I am looking at that 4,400 mark going into next week. Overall, I would want to see my entries above 4,380. We couldn't break that on multiple candlesticks right here. We are on the 30-minute chart. So to me, I am looking at that 4430 mark. If we can pass that, we do have some some resistance here at that 4450 area, where it coincides with this area right here back on September the 27th. So above 4350, 4450, 4460, and 4470 are those areas for me to the upside. I am bullish on the break of 4430. Now to the downside, if we cannot hold out 4400 support, we do have other strong support here. Previous resistance at 4375 now turns to support. So if 4400 can't hold, I am looking at shorting positions down to 4375, and I also have support here, next key support at 4350. Overall, I am neutral on the markets. Like I said, I do want to see that 4430 mark break for me to change my position from neutral to bullish. We do have some strong volume throughout the day right here on Thursday, so that was pretty bullish for the markets overall. We did have a few 1.5 days, so those are the things I want to see when you want to see a market shift or momentum change from bearish to bullish. I am looking at all sectors to move in unison with each other to see if this move is for real. I don't want to see just the QQQs or the SMH. I want to see all the financial sector, tech sector, semiconductor sector, healthcare, all those to move together to see if we have healthy market conditions. All right. So that's my view on the S&P 500. Now going into our watch list names, I am going to look at here one name that caught my eye, and that's Netflix. I spoke about this last week, and Netflix had a great week here. We consolidated underneath that 640 area. We did overshoot to 646, creating intraday highs. And going into next week, if you guessed it, I am looking above that 640 mark for entries, for potential take profits at 650 and 660. If we do move higher, I definitely look at 670 as a next bullish target. Overall, I'm pretty bullish on Netflix. We are holding that 630 mark as support, so that's pretty good. This is a big bull flag right here. Here's the flag, and here's the flagpole, and here's the flag itself. So we are in a bull flag formation here on the 30-minute scale. So a break above 640, look for those targets of 650 and 660 respectively. Now to the downside, if we cannot hold 630, this would not be my shorting area right here, because we do have some wicks going down and then buyers stepping in and propping it over 630. So what I'm going to be looking at is that 625 area, where it also coincides with this long, huge wick right here where buyers got rejected and it got pushed back down. So to me right here, under 625, you're definitely going to want to look to open up shorts down to 620, 615, where we do have some support here. Was previous resistance right here, and now turns support right here. So overall, I mean, I wouldn't want to short Netflix. We are in a bullish formation on the larger time frames. You know, if you switch over here to the 4-hour time frame, you can see here that we are just moving higher. So it's something that I would stress patience on if you are in the long position. Wait for that 640 area to break if you haven't entered yet for a proper entry. Okay, that is Netflix on the 4-hour time frame. Another name that I spoke about last week that had, I would say, not even a bullish week, more like a neutral, a wait and see approach, and that's Tesla. You know, Tesla is important to me because, as you guys can see here, we are consolidating around that $765 to $800 mark. We're still into this channel right here, and until one of these breaks with convincing volume, I am neutral on Tesla. So going into next week, I am looking at a break above $800, right? We've had multiple wicks right here, meaning buyers have been rejected. They tried to push the price up, got rejected here, here, here. I mean, sooner or later, there's going to have some sort of catalyst pushing this above $800. And once it does, that would be my entry point. Above $800, where I'm looking at 815, 816 as my take profit number one, and 830 as my take profit number two. Now, to the downside, I'm not really interested in any of this up and down action right here from 800 to 7, I would say 765, right? If we do break 765, I am looking at shorting positions down to 750 and 740, where we do have this other channel that we finally broke out of back on September the 24th. So as long as we can stay above 765, I am pretty bullish on Tesla. So this week, we're going to have to wait and see if we can break that $800 mark. Okay. Another name that caught my attention, Moderna, MRNA. And if you guys haven't been watching the news or, you know, catching up on the, what's it called, vaccine related stuff, you know that Moderna had some FUD going around with Sweden banning it due to side effects with their drug. And I believe it was people under 30 no longer are going to be using it in Sweden and some European countries as well. So, you know, a lot of that dropped the price down, along with another drug company coming out with this new pill form. So stuff like that does affect the stock of prices, the price of Moderna. So we saw a big drop down all the way to that $300 level. We did find some support at 295. Buyers did step in and pushed it all the way back up to 320. We are consolidating here from that 320 to $300 area. So one of these two has to break. To the upside, I am looking at over 320 for my entry point. And if 320 does break, I have targets of 325, 330, and 333. Overall, we, you know, I'm bearish on Moderna, right? But I believe that there's a lot of potential for the stock to move higher. We also have a gap fill right here around, let's switch over here to the daily mark, daily time frame. And as you guys can see here, we do have a gap fill right here from that 380 mark all the way to 355. Now, if you guys follow stocks, you guys do know that these gaps don't necessarily always get filled, but more often than not, they do. The price goes all the way up here, right? Buyers try to fill this gap here, and then it might fill it, then crap back down. However, right now, we are in a bearish posture, and switching over here back to the 1-hour time frame, you know, if we cannot hold that $300 mark, we're definitely looking at 290, 282, and 272 as key support zones. Overall, to the bull side, I do want to see a break of that 320 mark for a push, as I mentioned, all the way to 333. However, if we do see strong volume, look for that gap fill that I'm just talking about right now to eventually get filled. You know, overall, I mentioned this at Wealthy Mentor Trading and our trading group. I told the guys, like, listen, we are oversold on the daily time frame, and more often than not, if you look at Moderna's history, every time it got sold on the daily time frame, you received a 15 to 20% bounce. So keep an eye on Moderna for that bounce. To me, as long as we stay above $300, it is in a great position to move higher. If we don't hold that $300 mark, we're definitely going down to that 272 area support, where bears are in control at the moment. So keep this name in mind and understand that this name is always in the news, and there's always some sort of catalyst going into market open. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Moderna. Keep it on your watch list to see if this bounce goes underway above that 320 mark. Another name that caught my attention, and this is due to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is above that $55,000 mark right now, and we're not too far away from all-time highs. I believe Bitcoin all-time highs was 64,000, and other cryptocurrency names have also crept higher, and there has been bullish movement. And the reason why I talk about Mara is because Mara is correlated with Bitcoin, right? There are miners of Bitcoin. So usually when Bitcoin has a great day, Mara, Riot, all these other cryptocurrency related names move as well in unison with them. So to me, I am looking at Mara going into next week, and I am going to switch over here to the 4-hour time frame to give you guys an outlook. See, for me, I am looking above that $41 mark. We did break over here on September the 3rd, not reaching quite that 46.5 target that I wanted. However, on a break of 41, I am again targeting that 46.5 target. Now, if we do fall short, look to take profits at $45. Now, guys, when I mention these targets right here, they're not always clear cut, right? It's not going to be $46.50 exactly. But if you see the stock losing steam around that $45 mark and you're consolidating around there, look to take profits. There's no shame in taking profits and re-entering your position afterwards. Okay, so going into next week, as I mentioned, $41 is a key area for me to enter. And some things to look at is to see if Bitcoin's price action is bullish, right? If we're continuing to make percentage moves on Bitcoin, come back over here and see if Mara is correlating with it. Okay, so above 41, I have to take profits at 46.50. And guys, if we break 46.50, I am pretty bullish on Mara to potentially make all-time highs or even attempt to touch it right here at that $58 mark back on April. Okay, so if we do see some weakness and we don't see Mara run up with Bitcoin, $37 is a key area for me for support. If that were to break, 35 and 32 would be my take profit target number 1 and take profit number 2 to the downside on put positions. Overall, if we stay above that $32 area, I am still bullish on it just because the price of Bitcoin is really, up there. We're close to all-time highs. We're close to pushing past that area of $60,000. So it's one of those names that you definitely want to keep on your watch list going into next week. Okay, so that's Mara on the 4-hour time frame. Another name that is also correlated with Bitcoin, and it is part of our swing trading watch list names, and that's Coin. Coin is basically Coinbase. So, Coinbase had a tough time here. I am going to switch over here to the daily time frame. And, it was a new IPO this year, and we popped all the way to $430. And ever since then, it's been trending sideways to the downside right here. We held that 208 mark as support, so that is key support for me. But like I said, names like this do run up with Bitcoin. So going into next week, I am looking at that first confirmation of 750. I personally would not enter at 750 just because we had a few fake outs right here, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So 260 would be my entry point. Strong resistance here, a rejection back on June, right? We popped over here on August before getting pushed right back down into this channel from that 260 area all the way to 232. So personally, I wanted to see this above 260 for potential take profits of 270 and 278, which was the peak and the high back on September the 3rd. So a break above 260, look for a push of 278. Now, obviously, if Bitcoin decides to push as well and somehow makes all-time highs next week, you can definitely see this go all the way to 290, which was the high right here back on August. Okay, so that is Coin to the upside. Now to the downside, if it does not move Bitcoin, 232 is a key area of support here. We did bounce off here, consolidate quite a bit last week, and then we finally popped off to test 250 where we got rejected. So 232 is an area that I would look at for support. If that were to break, right, with some convincing volume, look for that 217 area where obviously we bounced here once, twice, 3 times, and the initial one right here back on May 2021. So 232, if that can't hold, 217 is your next best bet on a bounce on coin. Overall, I am optimistic on Coinbase. However, personally, for me, I want to see 290 break to see if we're in that trend change mode, right? So like I said, we did drop down from all-time highs, and we've been consolidating into this channel right here. And now that Bitcoin's back above $50,000, and it has that, approach that we might break all-time highs, look for stuff like this coin, look for Mara, look for Riot, all to push up in correlation to Bitcoin's price action. Okay, guys, those are the names that I want to discuss. And to give you guys a quick recap, Netflix made intraday highs at 647. You're going to have to be looking at 650 for your entries just to be safe. Tesla, again, we've been into that channel from the $800 mark all the way down to the 765. Keep an eye on one of those two. They must break. Look for volume confirmation and look for a catalyst to support your entry. Moderna, as I said, it dropped down based on weakness. Sweden banning its COVID drug. There's a lot of FUD there. And sometimes when there's a lot of FUD, there's a lot of opportunity. Look for $300 to see if that holds. If that holds, look for 320 as your entry point. As I mentioned here with Mara and Coin, look for Bitcoin's continued strength to enter positions on these two names. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in for this week's market stream. Please subscribe, like this video, and if you're interested in trading with us, like I mentioned, the link is in the description to join Wealthy Mentor Trading. Also, don't forget to be part of our community at IG, and that's at Wealthy Mentor Trading as well. Look us up, and if you have any questions for me, hit me up anytime. Thank you so much. Good luck trading, guys. Bye.